Hello everyone, welcome back to the Back Post podcast. Yeah, football's back, so we're going to do a podcast again. How are we all doing, boys?
Very good.
I'm very good. I'm very good. Sorry, I was literally pouring my beer right next to the speaker, just so you're gonna have to edit that out as you do it. It's a really nice, satisfying sound, and I'm just smiling.
I'm good. Great. Well, so football's back, boys, and the Premier League's going to be back in just a couple of days now. So how are we all feeling about that?
Oh, I can't wait. Honestly, it's been now. It's been about 100 days, I think it's been, hasn't it?
Well,
Oh my God.
the league's ended in the Euros. Today's the day we were supposed to kick off against Croatia, wasn't it?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's sad.
So that's where we're at right now. But it's fine, you know. I'm very interested to see what will happen in terms of timing. As in now, because now, how do we have a pre-season after we wrap up these last 8 games, or do we just? Who knows?
I don't even think they know. You know what I mean? No, they don't know at the minute.
The long-term ramifications,
no,
but for the short-term fix, yeah, fuck it, let's have it. Let's have some football.
Yeah, man. Let's have. You know, we've watched enough Bundesliga now. I'm ready for a bit of Premier League.
It's like it's been about as long as you'd wait between a season, hasn't it? Now, like it has.
Yeah,
So
definitely. It's been 3 months or
you,
something.
You have that break from football, and the weird thing is, the best thing about having that break from football is you come back ready for football. Everyone's on 0 points. Anything can happen. Football is mad. Right now, we're coming back. Liverpool have won the league. Pretty much Tottenham are 7th, and it's not quite as exciting as you would expect it. Right now, you just want to see some men kick a ball, and it doesn't really matter about the scores, which is both sad and freeing.
You still have that excitement though, innit? You're still kind of pumped. But then you're getting into what you've just said.
Yeah.
But anyway, get pumped, boys, because the first game is thrilling. Villa, Sheffield.
Let's talk about that in depth.
Right, so we'll episode 1, Villa, Sheffield.
I was saying that though. Like you said, I'm just happy to see football. I don't really care. I'm pretty sure it's going to be free to watch on Sky as well.
That's fair, but I don't miss football enough to not wait an hour and a half and just watch the Arsenal City game instead.
Yeah.
I'm not like waiting for it to come back on. I've had my little fix from Dortmund and Bayern. Haven't really watched any. Has La Liga started, hasn't it? It started earlier this week.
Yeah.
I haven't really bothered with any of that, and I would quite like to see De Bruyne fuck up Arsenal. That is the perfect way the league could start.
Yeah, it is going to be a good one. We forgetting the Villa Sheffield game, the first game of the Premier League, City Arsenal. We get to see Arsenal, who lost to Brentford in their warm-up game as well.
We've lost to Norwich, but they are a Premier League side, so you know.
Did you? I didn't see that.
We'll lost to West Brom.
Yeah, I think it doesn't really matter. But Tottenham, what Tottenham did, we lost 2-1 apparently to Norwich, but apparently we played 4 15-minute halves or something. We completely changed the squads for each 15 minutes, so I'm not too worried about that. That doesn't really say much.
Yeah, but okay, what? And then you lost to the Baggies, Adam.
Well, apparently we played them twice. I think we got beat 2-1 apparently, and I think we beat them 3-1. I know Rashford scored, Bruno, Martial.
Fair enough. I mean, we didn't have a thrilling game, but we still beat Reading.
I know, but these things tell you nothing, do you? Like, it was...
No, it's like pre-season.
Who knows what's going on? But
yeah, of course.
The only thing I've seen from the United game is people have come out saying Rashford's apparently in the form of his life, and you've got a Pogba and Fernandes midfield now.
You know, I forgot about Pogba. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, boys.
Okay.
Let's talk about City Arsenal. So, what I've done is I've looked at the form before the lockdown. So I looked at the last 5 games before lockdown, and Arsenal's is probably one of the best out of this list, you know. So Arsenal, in the past 5 games, it was a win-win, lose, win-win. So they were doing all right under Arteta since he came in.
Who was the loss against, just out of curiosity? Sorry, Jay. I wasn't doing that to test you. I was genuinely curious. I don't know.
I thought I wrote it down, but I don't. Fuck you.
I mean, they lost. We'll put it in here, just in little... No, but yeah, it's one of those things. Arsenal were looking like they were picking up form, again, much like United. But we have to, form has to go out the window now. Schalke were doing incredible in the Bundesliga, and they were not incredible, sorry, but they were not that far off the top 4, and they had strung a few wins together under David Wagner, and they came back and they sunk like a fucking stone. So literally, we have to treat this as a new season. we don't know what
Yeah.
every team's going to play like.
I think it's interesting though because Arteta's a new manager for Arsenal, and yet now he's been given a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks to train with them, get a bit more get to know him a bit better. I think that could do him some good,
Yeah, I think form goes out the window now, though. I think it is, like you said before, like the start of a new season for everyone, which it's going to be interesting to see how it actually finishes, because it could, between 9th and 5th, there's 5 points. So
Yeah.
anything could happen.
We could drop to 9th, yay. No, but the
Mate,
thing
you
is,
say 9th. Burnley are only 2 points behind you in 10th.
oh. Well, the thing is, I guess, is when it comes to City, Arsenal as well. Arsenal have a top 4 to gun for, whereas City, I don't know actually what's happening with the Champions League now, but City have a 2-1 lead against Madrid to look out for. That we don't know when that's going to be played, and with their ban from Europe, all eggs are firmly in that basket, surely. So Arsenal could probably do something. If David Luiz's defending is anything to go by, Aguero and De Bruyne will do horrible, horrible things to him. But yeah, it should be. I mean,
Yeah,
I'll definitely
true.
watch that game, but as soon as
Yeah,
Arsenal
that's definitely
score
the first
I'll turn
game
it
I'll
off.
watch.
I literally,
Yeah.
I don't miss football that much to watch an Arsenal.
Alright, shall we move on to your game, boys? Spurs United. So this is on the Friday.
What's happening, Adam?
Yes.
Scrap it off, lads.
Pause a minute. Can you shut up?
I'm not pausing, that's in.
So, United versus Tottenham.
You just come back like normal, like nothing happened.
And I'm looking forward to it. It's like we said before, with both the squads we think both the squads are fully fit. I think it'll just be a very good game to watch.
I'm very excited about it. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. Rashford looks like he's. We have to actually use this part to really sing Rashford's praises as well over what he's done over this lockdown. But
100%.
obviously, I was saying to my mate Ross the other day, this is the first time in 5 years I've seen a fully fit Tottenham squad. This whole lockdown came at the best possible time for us, and then every single player is ready to play for that game. And then suddenly you remember that Dele Alli stupidly videoed a Chinese man at the start of lockdown and he's banned for a game. We have no idea if Eric Dyer, not that I think he'd start anyway, is going to get repercussions for climbing the stands trying to murder someone. And suddenly you're a bit like, oh yeah, God, all sorts of shit happened before this, didn't it?
And can I just quickly say, I know form's out the window, but your last 5 games, Josh, you didn't even win one. It was a lose, 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 draw, lose.
Yeah, no, shit.
That's
fine.
big. You were having a tough time, so like you said, the lockdown couldn't have come at a better time for
We just got knocked out
you.
of the FA Cup as the final thing as well. It's a sad time, but it's fine. It's one of those things. I mean, but then again, every team's. We've had Lloris out for most of the season. He was just coming back. We didn't have Sissoko. Say what you will, he was a massive part of our midfield. You don't have Kane and Son. Bergwijn, our new signing, was injured. What can you do with that? You've got Lucas Moura. Who I'm still convinced is the slowest man ever. I don't understand how this has happened. I know I've discussed this before, but I watched Lucas Moura and I'm like, that is that pacey man that scored a hat-trick against Ajax and is known for his pace. And then you look at him and I don't know who it was, but bloody just the Norwich midfielder overtaking him and you're like, hang on a minute. This isn't right.
For me, it's going to be interesting to see how we set up, because now we have got all our players back. We've not had Pogba for most of the season. Now we've got Bruno as well. I don't know how we're going to set up. I was thinking maybe 5 at the back, depending on how Tottenham come out. It's because Shaw's turned himself into a bit of a centre back as well now.
Well, yeah, it's going to be weird, but the thing is that you don't have to worry about is you've already won this game, because Mourinho has been playing silly buggers in the press this week. I don't know if you've seen. I know you haven't seen.
I've actually not.
Before we started, and we haven't discussed it. But
I haven't seen that, Josh.
Mourinho's come out and he said that Solskjaer's out of his depth at United, which, don't get me wrong, I fully agree with. But don't say that now. You fucking.
You know what? As much as he's a prick, I love him. Because he just does shit like that. Just called him out.
I would love Mourinho so much more if it's like. I don't know. It's just like you can't. It's like getting a new dog too soon after your old one's died. Like, Poch is still so firmly in my heart. I can't.
I love your analogy.
I want to love Mourinho.
That's
I
one
want
of
to
the
be
best
like,
ones.
yeah, Mourinho's come out again, and he's just doesn't give a fuck, and whatever. Tottenham need a bit of that, but I just occasionally see, bloody not even Pochettino, Jesus Perez, his assistant coach the other day, posted a picture of them together, like, we love Poch, and all the Tottenham fans were like, we love you, and I was like, I love you too. Like, it's so sad, but yeah, I mean, obviously it didn't go Mourinho's way the last time we faced off. Dele Alli scored that fantastic goal that I believe we lost 2-1, didn't we?
I can't remember.
I think that's what happened. I think Dele Alli opened the scoring and we lost 2-1, which is often the way.
Yeah, because it was sort of like a hooked volley, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really weird, really fantastic goal. But then we just decided not to play football after that. We were like, that'll do, boys. Well done, Dele.
That's the Mourinho way. That is the Mourinho way. I think there's something interesting as well. It's like with City still going through this UEFA ban that might happen or might not happen. 5th place is a Champions League spot if that does happen, and you're sitting in 5th right now, Adam. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you'll want to be fighting to keep that.
It'll be a thing to strive for, but I don't think that will happen. I think City have too much financial power to. They'll just keep it going, I think. So that we'll still be talking about the City case next year. I'm convinced.
I think I'd like to get 4th. You know, with 3 points behind you, Jay? Yeah, 3 points behind you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't want it to settle for 5th because, like you said, Josh, I think we're all making up in our head that we're going to get Champions League if you're in 5th. I don't think that's going to happen.
I love all European nights. Like, you got to remember that when I first started watching Tottenham, that there wasn't such thing as Champions League nights. Really, there was Europa League nights, and we're like, yes, Dynamo Kiev, let's go. But like, oh no, we've lost in the semi-final to Benfica. Like, that's the kind of thing that would happen to me, and it's a really difficult one for me because part of me thinks we could benefit so much for just backing out of Europe just for a season, but we're still in it as well. You got to remember that we're still in the Europa League. So if we win that, that's the Champions League, isn't it? You're against.
It's true, mate.
Oh no, I remember this. Pask.
Lask.
That's it.
LASK. Big game. You can win that tournament easily, I think.
Well, we still in the FA Cup as well. You got to remember
already.
that. We got Norwich in the next. What is it? The quarterfinals.
Don't underestimate them, Adam. They did horrible things to us.
So we've still got quite a lot to look forward to. But it's if they're gonna be played these cup games. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the FA Cup's being played. Yeah, the FA Cup's being played because we play Leicester. I don't know what day, but it's in a couple of days' time actually. In the FA Cup, so
anyway,
the FA Cup's still going.
Right.
Balls on the table. What's the score, Adam?
Ooh, go on.
3-1 United.
I'm going to be a bit more liberal then. I reckon we're going to play out a very entertaining 2-2.
Ooh.
I think I'd take a 2-2.
Don't you change your score now, just because I've taken the moral high ground on this.
No, I'm saying 3-1.
No, it'll be
3-1,
interesting.
but I'll
Like,
take
I don't
2-2.
know. It's weird, United, isn't it? Because just the addition of Bruno Fernandes. If you didn't have Bruno Fernandes, I would say probably the same score for Tottenham, 3-1. Bruno Fernandes has added something to your team which is very special, and it's
He came in and clapped hard, didn't he?
Yeah,
he came in and
just
clapped
like, "You're
hard.
boys, you're all shit. Hello," and
That's
everyone
exactly
went,
what we
"Oh,
want,
okay."
And
But now
we better
Pogba's
change.
back as well now. Them two together.
Let's
Looks
not
dangerous,
say
doesn't it?
anything about Pogba until we see him play, because we've seen him play for 3 years for United now, and he's been a good player at times, but he's never done anything that's made him seem like one of the world's best at United.
But do you not think that having someone like Bruno next to him can elevate him? Because you got to remember the past 3 years he's had not the greatest players around him.
If they can sort of replicate what they did at Juventus, and yes, then obviously yes. But again, I don't believe that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has the tactical aptitude to get the best out of these players. I don't. I think he relies on the fact that you have very, very talented players. The United squad should be higher in the table. You've got Daniel James, Martial, you've got Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Pogba. Juan Mata can still do a fantastic job. You should be doing more impressive, but I just think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is one of those managers that goes out and tells his players to play, which is just not a thing anymore. Like, maybe back in 1984, Solskjaer would be mint, 4-4-2. Go on, boys, just play. Be fucking class. It doesn't work like that anymore. Like he'll come up against managers that have been in the game for a lot longer than him. That'll be managing West Ham, and they'll do a number on him. That's how it'll happen until you get rid of him and sign someone like Simeone or
Pochettino
or Allegri. That's the truth. And yes, you're probably gonna beat Tottenham and Chelsea and City along the way, because games like that he's really good at. But like I've always said, you're gonna get to Norwich, you're gonna get to West Ham, you're gonna get to Bournemouth, and you're gonna shit the bed. But you'll probably beat us.
Before we move on, it turns out 9 years ago, yesterday, maybe the day before, we signed Phil Jones.
Oh.
Now that means in 365 days he's eligible for the testimonial.
Oh. What a man.
Who was it? Was it not a United player? Was it a United player that turned down their own testimonial? Someone said
I'm not too sure.
Oh right, we'll revisit this in part 2. A player turned down his testimonial because he was embarrassed that no one would go. But we'll revisit that. I mean, yeah. Sorry, that's Jay. Do you have a neutral opinion on what's going to happen?
I think it is a really tough one. I think United, just a fully fit United. I think you said, Josh, that their squad should be a fully fit Spurs, but I
didn't say that. Let's fucking backtrack on that one.
Okay. You said they've got great players.
Let's just take this one for a little bit of a comparison right now. I believe that that Son and Kane are far better than any player in the United squad at the moment.
Okay.
No.
Go on, name me a better player than Son and Kane in the United squad.
Bruno Fernandes.
You don't know that. He's played like 10 games for you. He's been class and he's been...
You're contradicting yourself now, aren't you?
He's been good, but you cannot put him against Harry Kane, 2-time Golden Boot winner, World Cup Golden Boot winner, and the greatest English striker we've probably had since Shearer. You cannot put him against Bruno Fernandes.
No, and it may... all right, Son, I'll put him against, because Kane is a striker, and I could never compare Rashford to him at the moment.
Jay, you can have Fernandes or Son in your squad. Who'd you take?
You pick Son, mate.
Oh,
you do.
Bullshit.
No, okay. In a season or two, and if Bruno Fernandes keeps this up, then it is more of a question. But right now, you pick Son. 100%. Let's move on.
No. I want your score, and then we'll move on.
Oh, my score. Sorry. I do think it's going to be a very entertaining game. I think it might be one of the best games of the weekend, actually. 3-2 United.
Fuck you. Ooh. Fuck you.
3-2 United. Big game. Right, let's move on to the better game, actually, shall I say. The Villa Chelsea. So, there's not much to say about this. Obviously, the Villa are struggling at the moment. Well, they were struggling just before this lockdown. They're fighting relegation at the minute. They're 19th. They're going to want to stay up there. I think, Villa are a massive club. It's weird for them not to be in the Premier League. But it's the same thing what you lads have said with your team. We have got so many fit players now. Like, it's crazy. We had a lot of injuries as well. Like, just before this lockdown, we were struggling with a lot of injuries, especially like some of big players. So it's really interesting to see what's going to happen. I actually don't know what team Frank's going to put out.
That was the exact point I was going to make. The one issue you have now with a fully fit squad is, especially in your defence, what do you do there? Because you've got Tomori, Rudiger, Christiansen, Aspie, Zuma.
Yeah, honestly, mate, look, I've been thinking about this a lot recently. I wouldn't know what the starting lineup. I think midfield's more of a problem. You've got Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, Mason Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. You've got Ross Barkley. You know what I mean? And then there's obviously all the wingers that we still have. I think Frank's got a real big challenge here. You got Billy Gilmour as well, who was really good just before
Billy
the lockdown.
Gilmour. Yeah, he's good.
He was so good before the lockdown.
You've got Kante, Kovacic, Loftus-Cheek. Just pipe down on the Gilmour stuff until he.
But I'm saying he's there. He's there in the conversation. Obviously, Kante and plays in front of him, but he's a part of this conversation. And honestly, And Giroud was playing so well before the lockdown, but now Tammy's fit. Do you play Tammy or do you play Giroud? I think Frank's got a real big challenge on his hand to see who. Because we don't have a starting 11.
Top manager, I think it's very difficult. Very difficult. Do you approach the restart via the last game? Do you say like, well, this was the team that was doing well, do I keep that? Or do you treat it like a new season and go, look, like all of you've got to earn your place in training, and the kind of process starts again? It's very difficult.
I think it's that.
I think from these friendlies that you've been watching, I think you should go off that really.
I don't know, because
I think that.
I don't know. It's very difficult because.
But by that logic, Josh, Gilmour should be playing because he had 2 incredible
By
games.
that logic, Tottenham should just pack up and go home. But let's not talk about them.
True, but no, yeah, you're right. I think it's who's fit. Who's been really good this, because we've not had Ruben Loftus-Cheek all season, but he's one of our best midfielders. I think he's better than Mount.
He's far better than Mount. Like he is that Lampard mould. He's not anywhere near as anywhere near Lampard, but no one is. That's not.
Yeah,
that's
no,
not
but
a
he's
dig.
That's unfair. But so I think like, do you play him? But he hasn't played all season. It's I think you play who's been best in the training, and obviously we don't know.
You play Loftus-Cheek off the bench, and then if he does well,
definitely
integrates. But yeah, the Tammy and Giroud thing's very interesting. Like, especially now, and also every single player, especially the attackers. Like, it's not official yet, and also it's gone very quiet, suspiciously. But you've got if you've got Ziyech and Werner coming in, fuck me, you're trying to play for that place as well. Like, there's more than just the competitions themselves to play for at the moment.
The way, definitely, mate. The way I see it as well is that Ziyech is a definite, and I think Frank will play him more on the right than anything.
Yeah,
he's a very good player. He can play pretty much everywhere in the midfield and up front. But I think Frank will play him on the right, especially if Willian's still in this contract where he wants a 3-year deal. We're not offering him that, and there's still a back and forth there. He wants a 3-year deal. That's why we haven't signed him.
48.
I don't know. That's why we're not. So I think Giroud, we signed a 1-year deal with him because he's an older player. I think we want to do the same with Willian, but he's just firmly saying 3 years, and we're like, no.
Goodbye.
So then. I think Ziyech will come in. Yeah, goodbye, definitely. So I think he's going to play there.
I absolutely see Willian at Zenit. Picture it right now in that blue
doing
shirt.
Absolute bits as well.
Yeah, it'd be class, but that's where I see him.
Yeah, do. Yeah, I think it's his. I do think it's his time to go. It's his destiny. You're right. So Ziyech plays out on the right, and then with Werner coming in, Giroud signed a contract. Tammy's got 2 years. There's 3 strikers there, and it's difficult. I spoke about it in my other. Batshuayi's gone. Batshuayi's gone.
Yeah,
I spoke about it in my video. So if you want to watch that, go watch it. I'll have a link now.
Villa now. What's weird for these relegation threatened teams is that they're going to be coming at you. If they had 3 months to really look at their. Maybe they'll look at Chelsea and go, I mean, every game's a must-win game, but maybe they'll be targeting the more winnable games now to try and get out of relegation. So maybe that'll play in their favour. But I don't know. All I know
you've got as well, like. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, all I know is Jack Grealish has double game week, so I think every fantasy football person's put him in.
I've got him in mind, even though he's playing us, which is really conflicting. But anyway, also you got McGinn coming back. He was injured for the
very good point. Villa looked far better with McGinn.
He was at the start of the season. He was good.
I've spiced it up my fantasy team. We'll get into that later, but
we'll talk about that in part 2 because I want to talk about that actually. Okay. But if I'm going to give a prediction, it's got to be like a 1 or 2-0 to us. I don't see Villa beating us.
I see
with 5 substitutes as well. That's something we haven't spoke about. With 5 substitutes, we've got a lot of depth right now with everyone fit. We can just bring on some
for
deadly.
Everyone. Like that's actually
but who's Villa going to bring on?
Didn't forget. Like if you don't mind, I know we're clipping the United Tottenham game, but that's a very interesting point that we didn't really discuss. Like you can bring you can bring Martial, Greenwood. I mean, actually, give me a hand here. I don't really know, but like you can.
Well, it depends what about McTominay, Greenwood. Martial, if you don't start,
fully fit Tottenham. We have Mora, Lamella, and Ndombele, Winks. Got there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of changes that we really don't know that can happen within the game now, which is mad.
Like 5 subs is massive. It's crazy. That's
the final
that's
thing I want to say about Chelsea is that you were talking about all these strengthening positions, and you mentioned in your own video that your main priority is the left back. Goalkeeper. Surely you all want to see the back of Kepa.
You can't just get rid of him though, can you?
You can.
All the money you spent on him.
He's not a
one,
terrible
that is.
keeper, but he's terrible for the money you've paid for him. That's a fact. He's let the most shots outside of the box of any keeper, I think the stat was. He disgraced the club. You cannot get away from that during the Carabao final.
You're right, it is a difficult one, and I didn't actually think about that. And just before the lockdown, actually, Frank sacked him for a couple games. He had Willie playing.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, but we've spent that much money on him. I don't think I don't think... And like you said, he's a decent keeper. I think he can stay for another 2 years before we start looking.
He's only young though, isn't he, as well? You've got to remember that. I remember when De Gea first joined. I know he didn't disgrace the club, but he took a while. Keeper's probably the hardest position to play, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of pressure.
It's hard to get into it, especially in the Premier League. So I think you should give him time.
I don't.
I think we will. I think
you should have sacked him off a year ago, but that's just me.
I mean, yeah, I mean, no Chelsea fan likes what happened then, but also, I think Frank's got a bit of trust in him. I think we're going to keep him for a couple of years, and if he doesn't do well in the next year or so, he'll be gone. But I think the priority still would be the left back, because Alonso and Emerson just ain't it.
Fair enough. Let's quickly rattle through the final 2 games then, because we probably should end this part.
Yeah, definitely. So we got the Merseyside derby. Does anyone have anything interested to say about that?
Everton got nothing to play for, have they really?
They do have Ancelotti though.
I mean, I think it'll be the same as always. It'll be an absolutely horrible game for Liverpool to play in. Liverpool very rarely walk over Everton now, but Everton will not necessarily attack. They'll make it difficult. They'll make it difficult. They'll concede in the 70th minute, and then either the floodgates will open up. It'll be 3-0, or it'll stay 1-0. That's what will happen unless the Liverpool that played Watford continue. But I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think so either. I think
true.
I think they'll win the rest of the games, to be honest with you.
I mean, Liverpool don't have any other competitions either, do they? Did they get knocked out of the FA Cup? They did, didn't they, by Chelsea?
Yeah, we knocked them out.
And then who can forget Atletico Madrid? So
and you know what? Like their form was pretty poor before this.
They have been waiting for a Premier League title for 3 months.
Yeah. I mean, we're friends with some Liverpool fans, and they've all got their flags ready. And
anyway, so I think that's a pretty self-explanatory one. I think it'll be interesting, and I'll try and watch it. But like I said, it's a fully fit. Maybe Everton will scrap a goal. Maybe they won't. But I still think Liverpool will be far too much. Last game.
Definitely. What's the last game?
Everton Arsenal. What? No, is it not? Okay, I don't know.
No, that's Brighton play Arsenal.
Oh, okay.
That was the last important game. Everything else is a bit dead.
4.
There was 4. We spoke about 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the 4.
That was the 4.
No, it wasn't. What?
Chelsea, United, the Merseyside derby, and the
City Arsenal.
Chelsea United.
No, oh my
Chelsea's
God!
game,
City
United
versus
game.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Spurs United. Chelsea Villa, Merseyside derby. That's 4.
Oh, that's why I'm confused, because Chelsea Villa isn't really an important game. It's just important in the context of this podcast because you're a Chelsea fan. Sorry, I understand.
Exactly
now.
Right, arsehole. Let's move to part 2.
just because you think it's a massive game because you live in Birmingham and support Chelsea doesn't mean anyone else fucking think that's a
Josh,
big...
I put the mic down, man. It's a big game for the back post. Okay, fuck you. Part 2. Josh, you get us back into part 2.
Oh, hello. Sorry, I am going to do the intro to this bit. We're going to just talk a bit about fantasy football because we probably spoke a bit too much in that first part. So we're just going to quickly talk about that because we have nothing else to say.
We had a league as well, which I've kind of forgot about. Us lot, and then some of the lads from Kendall.
We did.
I was still above used to. I was 3rd. It's kind of sad that it's...
Well, I was doing utterly terrible, I remember well.
Yeah, you're dead last. I was doing alright, but then I kind of dropped off. Ross and Sam are smashing it.
So, right, I can't remember my old team. I brought in Aguero, because he's got two games, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think I got rid of Vardy to get Aguero, because I had a bit of money in the pot. I brought Capu in. For... Can't remember because I thought he was doing bits just before all this work.
Yeah.
Was he?
then
I don't particularly remember Capu doing bits before all this.
No, he was getting
Josh.
a few points. I was looking here.
Fake fan.
And then I had to bring Lundstrom in, didn't I?
Oh,
because
mate, everyone mugged me off for having Lundstrom at the start of the season.
You didn't know. Stop pretending you knew.
Everyone mugged me off. I believed in that man. And
No,
he
you
came through. He fucking came through hard. I've still got him. He's got 2 games. I actually brought Fernandes in, for all he was doing before. He was quite expensive. Josh pointed this out the other day. I actually have 1 Chelsea player in the squad. He's on the bench, and it's Gilmore.
It's fucking Billy Gilmore.
but like as I said earlier in the pod, I don't actually know who's going to be playing for the rest of the season. So I didn't actually want to fully commit to a Chelsea player. Whereas I think a lot of these players are more solid than others. You feel me?
Okay. No, you kind of went out for a bit there.
I made a point.
Yeah, sorry, I finally just got mine back up. I've completely changed mine now. And you know what? I think it's good. I think it's a good team.
Need to, don't you, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly run through it with you. I've got Patricio. He's against West Ham. Easy. Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Ludstrom. Simple. Easy. Then I've got Fleck, because he's got a double game week. Ndidi, Fernandes, Grealish, and De Bruyne. That's a midfield that could win the league. And I've got Vardy and Kane up top.
That's quite good actually. No Aguero though. Not believing in Aguero.
No, well, as I said to you, Jay, we don't know what's going to happen there. Aguero could play both games and smash out the park, or he could be dropped for Jesus.
Yeah.
Pep plays silly games with Aguero, and it's not a risk I'm willing to take.
It's a bit.
You're making me want to change mine.
It's a risk I'm willing to take. The double Aguero week captain as well. It's a risk I think I'm.
I was going to say the question is, who's your captain?
Aguero.
My captain's De Bruyne.
Yeah, I've got Grealish as my
captain.
I've got Grealish as my vice. So
I've got Kane as my vice, but I think De Bruyne against Arsenal. He always seems to turn up against Arsenal. Remember, he scored that banger earlier in the season. Actually, the day we all met up for the Christmas quiz.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And Burnley again. I think that would be a fun time.
Cool. All right. Well, we got anything else to talk about, boys?
Just the fact that in this crowdless stadium future we're looking at, apparently Tottenham are looking at using their big 4 screens to actually put a crowd on the screens.
What, like a Zoom call?
It might not happen, but I heard it was like players, families, and friends and stuff. Like, imagine.
It's like a Zoom call, kind of watching it live.
I don't know, but just imagine your mum.
That's mad.
Massive screen, like, go on, Sam!
Up in the gods, go on! And they've got her on the speaker. God, that'd be
I heard
terrifying.
something the other day. I think it might have been in China. Or you can download an app on your phone and pick a seat in the stadium, and you talk into your phone, and it comes out on the seat where you are in the stadium when the match
that
is
is
on. So you can
mad.
So you could heckle like a player all game. You little twat.
On your phone. Oh my god, that's mad. I didn't see that. That's incredible. I've seen that they're asking fans to pick what chance they want overplayed on the stream. What do you think about that actually, lads? Because the Bundesliga did it the past couple games. They've played crowd noise. I fucking think I thought it'd be tacky and horrible.
It sounds good. It's just a bit.
I
like it.
Don't like it, not for the fact that I think it's cheesy or anything. I just think that you can't beat the natural sound of a crowd because that's just what football is. But what I did actually really enjoy was, especially when it's your own team, and you always want an extra insight into your team, don't you? That's what you want. And I really enjoyed hearing the ball being kicked and hearing the defence shouting out and the keeper organising, and it was really interesting. And
you can still kind of hear that though.
Yeah. Just with it being a few weeks of this, to the end of the season, and we can't have fans. I'd rather just have a bit more of a tactical viewing of my team. Enough. I think that'd be really interesting. But
fair enough.
A side note from it's nothing to do with football. But have you watched UFC with no crowd?
Oh god, no! I can imagine it's horrible, but you can hear it.
You can hear every punch. It is unbelievable.
Fucking hell, that's horrible. Yeah, that is horrible. I remember I went to watch a boxing match last year or 2 years ago, and it's the first one I've ever been to, and without. Obviously, there's a crowd, but without commentary, I was just watching thousands of screaming people, with two people just hitting each other, and I kind of had a moment where I was like, "This is mental," just because I couldn't hear the commentary. Do you know what I mean? There was just 2 people scrapping in the distance, and I was like, "Oh."
And it is in the distance as well, isn't it?
Oh, it fucking where I was sat. Yeah, it was far away. I was looking at the screen more often. Yeah, is there anything else, lads? I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just as well while looking at some stuff there, I just realised that we were actually 7 points off Chelsea and fourth, so it's going to take a big push to turn it around, and either it happens or it doesn't, and either way up the Spurs, you know, it's
Football's back. That's all that matters, boys. Isn't it?
Football's back, guys. Thank you for being here. Bless you, Josh. Tell your dads, everyone. Thanks for watching. Follow us all on
Don't
Instagram.
end it like that. Don't tell your dads now.
Tell your dads to bless Josh. I don't know.